Sad circumstances surrounding the death of a man in Covington's Goble Park. Even though the 34-year-old man had no apparent serious injuries, 9 on Your Side reporter Scott Wegner tells us his cause of death may be more common than people think.
It started with an anonymous call from a nearby payphone.
Advised that there was a dead person in the woods.
The remains of a 34-year-old white male were found less than 100 yards from the clock tower in Goble Park. His body was found on a footpath by a known homeless camp just out of sight of the park.
I'll show you where it's at.
It took just a few minutes for the Kenton County coroner to see there were no obvious signs of foul play.
Winter and homelessness steal lives.
While the coroner hasn't determined a cause of death, Josh Spring of the Greater Cincinnati Coalition for the Homeless says dying from the cold is all too common for his constituents.
We are now seeing nearly every shelter full.
You might think that young people would be more resilient, but Josh Spring says homelessness can literally strip years from their lives. And even somebody in their mid-30s can be a lot more vulnerable to the elements.
Everything sort of gets multiplied, and that adds up, and it does, in fact, deplete years. People die younger that have spent time outside.
And the problem is not uncommon. Spring says there have been 3 homeless deaths in the area since January 1st alone. He expects about 30 every year. Police are checking with the area shelters to see if they can locate next of kin of the victim in the park. In the meantime, they're hoping to hear back from the anonymous caller who may be able to shed more light on exactly what happened. Scott Wegner, 9 on Your Side, Covington.